All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracted Nightly Sports Call. This is our GMC tweet of the night, and this is the NFL's countdown, the top 100 players of 2024. And TJ Watt comes in at 8th overall. Last year, he was 27th. So that's probably the right spot for him, I would think so. A big part of the Steelers' defense, one of the best players in the NFL, and I think, no doubt, the best outside linebacker, pass rusher, edge rusher, whatever you want to call him, in the NFL, no matter what those people in Cleveland say. All right, Jason, let's take some phone calls. Let's go to John in Cranberry. How you doing, John?
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for taking my call. I'm joining a little late. I was watching on MLB Network. Blake Snell just pitched a no-hitter for the Giants against the Reds in Cincinnati, which is a very tough ballpark to pitch a no-hitter in. But to the Pirates, so I wanted to talk about Kiner Falefa for a second. He strikes out very rarely. He only has like 36 strikeouts this entire season. So my question to Richie and to Jason, would you want to, in the order, do you think he should be like a leadoff hitter or at the top of the order and maybe then drop Kutch down? And the other thing is, I know we're going to slot him to second base because he's like a jack of all trades in the field. But when Gonzalez comes back, where would you like to slot him in position plays? Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, Jason, this is a great question. I probably would put him I'd bat him second, right? I think I want to leave Kutch at leadoff. You might disagree with me here, but he gets on base. I understand he's not hitting right now, but I would probably bat him second.
I'm going to tackle you, Richie.
Okay, what are you going to say, third?
Anywhere but second. That's Reynolds' spot. I'd probably stick with Cruz batting third, to be honest with you. I like the idea of Kiner Falefa atop the order. It's not happening with Andrew McCullough. He had a better game tonight. It's been a pretty ugly trend. I think over his past 2 months, he's hitting about 211. Not that I'm in a hurry to get him out of that spot, but you have somebody with very good bat-to-ball skills like Kiner Falefa does. I'd be intrigued to see that. I think that's the most logical place to put him. I like Dela Cruz in the cleanup spot. I like Rowdy 5. You could probably drop Kutch down to 6th and lead off with Kiner Falefa. I think that would be just fine, and you have somebody getting on base ahead of Reynolds, ahead of Cruz. But Richie, I don't think they're going to move Reynolds from that 2 spot.
All right, that's fair. I was looking at what they were doing with him tonight. They batted him second. So I was thinking potentially if you move Reynolds down to third, you leave Kutch at 1. But I see your point. I'm not going to argue that. He could be a good leadoff hitter. He has a high average, and his second part of the question, what do you do with him when Gonzalez comes back?
Oh, yeah.
You just kind of move him around the field? I mean, he can play pretty much any position.
Yeah, I think you have to. Again, they need O'Neal Cruz's bat in the lineup, and you need to allow him the opportunity to play. If we go into next season and we've moved O'Neal Cruz in like our little fictitious lineup that we were working on last segment, Kiner Falefa's probably my shortstop. But until then, I'm probably going to bounce Kiner Falefa around. If this continues with Ke'Bryan Hayes, I might only play him against left-handed pitching. I know they need to stick with it a little bit longer, and maybe that's enough of a sample to get through when Nick is back. I'd even consider putting him in the outfield if I can get some reps for him there, give somebody a day down. I just think it's sort of that super utility role that they thought about doing with Jared Triolo. I would expect to see that with Kiner Falefa once Nick comes back.
All right, Steve in Dormont. How you doing, Steve?
Richie, how are you guys tonight?
Good,
hey,
thanks
Steve.
for calling.
So I was thinking with O'Neal Cruz, I know the Pirates are super cheap. Do you think when it comes to his position, they might maybe throw a little bit more money his way, on top of the $755, to try to move his position for next year since shortstop's not working?
How about throw a little less money at him, Jason? I don't know what the going rate would be for someone like him right now.
Yeah, and the lowest common denominator joke, you could throw it at him, but is he going to catch it? I won't do that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't think that's the relationship you want to have with them. I think you need to, again, if it comes to this and they want to move O'Neal Cruz's position, you sit him down and say, look, this is the best thing for the team. We need better defense at shortstop. We can put the best defensive alignment out there if you play right field and you embrace this. And I'd honestly point him to Fernando Tatis Jr. with the Padres and say, look at what this guy did. He was not a great defensive shortstop. He went out the right field and he won a Gold Glove. O'Neal Cruz can do that. He's that talented. He's that athletic. So we'll see. I don't think it's going to affect his contract, however.
All right, David in Washington. How you doing, David?
Good. Hey, listen, we all have our opinions, and I am very respectful of other people's opinions, but I'm going to weigh in with this. I'm middle-aged, and for too many years I saw the Pirates having shortstops that not only didn't hit 10 home runs in a season, they didn't hit 10 home runs in their whole career. So I agree with Jason on this. I'm going to watch O'Neal Cruz. I want to see how many home runs he's going to hit the next 2 months. And if he ends up with close to 25 or 30 home runs, for now, I'm going to live with the errors at shortstop, because there's a lot of GMs out there that would like to have a 6-7 shortstop that hits for power.
Yeah, I see I see the point you're making, David. But going back to what we were talking about earlier, with the type of team that the Pirates are building right now, you can't afford to have a guy making 30 errors at shortstop.
Yeah. Richie, let me just build on that. I mean, there also needs to be a realization of where O'Neal is at in his career. Like, he's made some mistakes this season. He's had bad stretches. He's also had good stretches, and he's learned from some things. He's a young player. He's a young player. People forget because he missed all of last year. Like, this is his first extended look at the major leagues. And that's why I don't want to have an opinion right now. I know I have to. I know I'm required to because we're talking about it on TV. But you know what? So much can happen over the final 2 months. So much has already happened this season for O'Neal. So he can get better defensively. He has all of the tools, all of the talent in the world.
I get that, but shouldn't that be there, Jason? I mean, that's supposed to be your best defensive player, right? Your best athlete.
No, I mean,
it should play
be there if
shortstop,
he's going
right?
to make 35 errors, Richie, but you have to allow him the opportunity to get better. And like David's saying, I mean, he brings something to that position with his bat that nobody else can bring. So I'm willing to hear him out on the offense. If it's a consistent trend that he's going to make 35 errors a season, I can't live with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we're there yet.
All right, Kirk out in Manor. How you doing, Kirk?
Doing, Richie. How you doing, Jason?
Hey, Kirk.
Good.
Hey, real quick, name me one shortstop that was 6'7" that was substantial in their play. Help me out here.
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I don't know any 6'7" shortstops. Do you?
There's never been a 6'7" shortstop. I don't know where he's going.
No, I mean, he hung up. I get what he's saying. Okay. You want a big athletic guy right there. There's no question about it. But what I was trying to say, Jason, before was, I mean, a guy that's playing shortstop should be your best defender, right? Those are your best athletes. Those are guys that already know how to play that position.
Well,
and it seems like he's still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have somebody who can add something with the bat versus Clint Barmas. I'm not turning that down.
I agree with you. That's why you can move him to another position.
Yeah,
give me a good fielder.
I mean, Richie, if he was on pace for 15 errors, we wouldn't be talking about moving his position.
You're right.
He's on pace for 33, so we're talking about it, which I think is a fair discussion. But, like, if he can tamp that down, if he can improve, I'm not moving his position because then I can add another power bat in the outfield. I like that. I like what that does for their team. I'm just saying that if what is happening right now, if we determine at the end of the season that, like, this is a consistent trend, this is a thing, then at that point you have to move them. But we're not there yet.
All right. We're there to take a break. Back in a couple minutes.